All right, everybody. So I managed to get an extra shard. So I got it from um, the freebie. You can see 6 days, 23 hours left. It just popped, literally just now. And I told you guys I'm going to record every single shard that I open. So far, I've been a little disappointed with the ancient shards. I was going to do a little one-off here, but since I'm recording, I think I'll go ahead and record our episode as well. So we'll fill this in with we'll put this as part of the episode. Um, and we'll go over kind of what's going on the account. But we're going to pull this shard and see what we get. So here we go. And we get another rare. Lore Keeper. Block active skills is interesting. Stun. Um, Places continuous heal. Block debuffs on the target. On the one ally. Yeah. And I kind of want to talk about champions here in a little bit, but let's go over what's going on the account. Um, so there was a slight hiccup on the edit of my shard opening video, so do expect it to come soon, but it will be a little delayed. I don't expect that to happen in the future, but this is part of the reason why I'm doing this process now. Um, I'm slowly working things, improving on the plans of our how we want to go about. I'm just hiding the fact that my green screen is not correctly positioned. But no, we're learning, right? We're figuring out like how we want to go about um doing certain things, and we're trying to find it in the most affordable way and the most convenient way for everybody. So we had a slight hiccup. We learned from it, and we'll do better next time. I do expect that I should have something in the next day or two, as far as the shard video. As of right now, the shard videos are only going to be the ones that I'm going to really edit. Um, but there may be some of these where I need to incorporate a few edits or something. But as we get better in the progress, we get more familiar with it. I expect to have better, faster results for you guys. So, on that note, let's kick off the episode. So, I'll try to keep it a little spoiler free, but just I don't know that I can. So, heads up if you are waiting for the shard video, I would probably go and find that. Hopefully, it's out by now. But if you're not too worried about it, feel free to tune in. So, overall, wasn't happy with the shards that I pulled. Was really hoping for better luck out of 50 shards, if I'm being completely honest. 51 shards now, or however many it was that I pulled. So, but while there's still a 2x, I'm trying to generate as many ancient shards as I can during this time. So, one thing that I'm doing right now, two things that I'm doing right now, I should technically say. So, I am going for Petrify Rockroot, I think is her name. Um, she is available during this spider tournament, so I'm running as much spider as I can. Now, I did spend a couple of my potions that I've saved up. So I had some that were in the 88 days here. So I went ahead and spent those to try and generate a little bit of extra energy in order to pull her. Now I am pretty far away from the weekly reset. So I don't know. So if I reset once tonight and then once Sunday night, I won't have a refresh. So there's no way I'm going to get this particular ancient shard, nor am I going to have access to all the energy that you get during the reset day, or sorry, during the weekly, because when you do the weekly you get access to a lot more energy through that the way that works. So um I could probably get this energy here, so I might actually spend a little time today, now that I'm out of energy. As you can see, I'm back down to 12, which is one more run, which I'll do real quick. Um, so I might spend some of these resources to generate more uh, champions for this quest here, uh, or more fights. 150 fights in arena. I mean, the most I'm going to be able to do is another 15. 10 at reset, maybe another, so maybe another 15. So yeah, I probably won't be able to get this one done. So I don't I mean, I'm still going to do my arena as normal, but I don't think I'm going to push very hard for that energy there. So we're going to keep pushing on this tournament for Spider. um Man, I'm kind of torn here too, because I'm in a bit of a predicament, because I do want to get this mission done while I can. And that's a pretty big deal, getting this mission done, especially because then I can double dip while I'm doing Spider. So as soon as reset happens, all my energy is going to go into the Void Keep, um, in order to complete this, and then start doing Spider's Den a whole bunch more. I do expect I will probably have to spend all of these potions saved up, but that's what I save them for. I save them specifically for these types of events, and I think Petrify Rockroot is gonna be a really powerful champion for my clan boss team. What am I doing? She's not. Is she Sylvan? No, 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 no. She's a demon spawn. That makes sense. Yeah. Um. So mostly what I'm looking for is that poison sensitivity. Um. And obviously we get decreased attack as well. So that could get us an extra turn, which I'm very excited to have, and I do think it's going to bring a lot of consistency and very strong poisons, that I may not otherwise get. Now I've been getting a lot of damage out of my Eris. Eris did over 1 million damage on this particular clan boss run in Brutal right here. She did 1 million. So really big improvement out of her. She does have the second level of Phantom Touch now, so we get extra attack out of that, not extra chances on Phantom Touch. So we are getting a lot of things going our way. So I do think that, just unless I still have a couple shards to pull, one of them will be along the way to get petrify us. So I you know something can always change from this particular ancient shard. Maybe I find some other ancient shards along the way that I wasn't expecting. I should hopefully be able to get this ancient shard as well. Um, the only thing gatekeeping that will be doing 5 million damage in Demon Lord. My brutal run tonight or today was 6.97. So I do feel like I can hit that and still also run brutal. So I'll probably do that, and get access. So I've got two more ancients that I know I'm going to be able to get. And Spider does have a chance to drop ancients. It's not a big chance, but it is a chance. So, and then of course tomorrow I might get some from Clan Boss. So hopefully we will be able to generate a few more uh, ancient shards. So I'm about 2 hours away from reset. So I'm probably gonna hold on the account at this point and wait and see what I can do as far as generating um, more. I kind of want to use my energy to first do, as soon as reset happens, Void Keep, to accomplish this quest as fast as possible, and then put the rest of my resources into Spider. I'll do 10 multi battles like that. Um, my key will reset in 4 hours. So it'll be my last key tonight. So that'll be, yeah, so that's reasonable. So I'll use that reset key to get the 5 million damage here, and then continue to run Spider probably through the night. This is gonna take a while to get, because it has to be a 5 or 6 star amulet, which currently on Spider, um, it it'll only be able to be a 5 star amulet. I am not anywhere near close to stage 13. I just don't have my team quite optimized yet. So I can get a 5-star amulet, but it's more likely. I mean, if we look at what 5-star amulets well, yeah, see, actually got this very 5-star amulet from running dungeons today. So it is very possible to get. I have improved some of the amulets on some of my teams. Um, we have the crit damage one that's better. What's this one? An attack? Um, with attack percent. I don't know if I want to sacrifice the speed right now on my KO. That's a lot of speed to sacrifice to go for this banner, but it is a 5-star banner, so I will tinker with that quite a bit. For Deacon, only new thing I got would be this banner here. Attack. I actually want. So I did get this crit damage one, but this attack one is better because she is not crit capped, and I don't think she will be anytime soon. So I'm gonna bump that one all the way up to 12. And then you'll see, yeah, I get 102 extra attack out of it. The crit damage, granted she did do more damage having it on, but I think I'll get more out of the attack here than I will out of the crit damage because her crit is so low. I mean, it's not even 20%. All right. And then that's just an HP. This one at least has attack and defense on it, which is valuable. So there's no real value in changing out rings for her. As far as Armiger goes, I'm happy with the stuff that he has. I'd like to put this banner on him as soon as, when he eventually gets 6 stars, but probably not going to be anytime soon. We've got him in an attack ring. Just looking to see if any of those 5-star. Do we have any crit? We do have a 4-star crit damage, so this is likely to be what gets used on him, especially because of the accuracy roll. That's pretty nice. Getting him to 5 stars. Let's just check. I talk a lot about the resources, but I have been passively generating a lot of resources. So, not quite. We've got. Yeah, we're not anywhere close to that, but and I don't have the energy to really. I have other things I want to use my energy for. So getting Sun Wukong ascended to the 5th star to get that amulet just isn't in the cards at this moment, but it could be later. All right. So as far as everything else going on the account, not too much going on. This is one thing I haven't looked at much, and I'm realizing now that I do have an extra 10% HP because I have that extra kale. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I think I have 2 Elhanes right now. I have 2 of a couple things. So now those are, I was considering using, the one Elhane is 4-star because I did say I'm going to keep an Elhane for the account. This one was probably going to be food, but given the Faction Guardian usefulness, since I have 2 high elves right now that I use in Apothecary, and I should have kept the second Apothecary. I think I used it as a book. If I use it as a book, that's fine. But given the and for those of you that don't know, when you come in here to Faction Guardians, as you saw, I'm able to get 10% attack and 10% HP out of these champions right now. So really valuable. And so definitely happy to be able to do that, and it's going to make my champions a little bit stronger. So I'm going to keep those in order to protect them, protect their the secondary versions of them. We're going to put them into the vault so that I don't accidentally feed them. And there we go. So now the one good thing you can do, especially for rares, when you get to a point where energy you have excess of. And the key point, the reason I say excess energy is because it's beneficial, but it's also not necessarily a priority. You're gonna get this stuff out of gear and things like that. So like, and it only impacts the champions that are under it. So for example, rare Sacred Order. I don't use any rare Sacred Order champions right now at this point in time. It won't affect Armiger because he's not a rare; he's an uncommon. So affecting Dark Elf and High Elf, which these two are, benefits me quite a bit. Now I don't think I have well, and the other ones don't get benefited at all. Not Deacon would only get benefited if I had two epics, and Sun Wukong only gets benefited if I had two Skinwalkers. And when I say two, I mean two of the exact same. So I would need two Sun Wukongs in the Faction Guardians for him to gain benefit of it. So with that in mind, it makes it a little bit harder to worry about them. So putting champions in Sacred Order, for instance, isn't really going to benefit me. So those two Athels, I would rather not put in there in case I get, into needing food later, because it won't impact my Deacon at all. But a little bit of extra value there, so I'm glad that I thought about that. I just happened to randomly click it. Um, Other than that, yeah, not too much going on. I did think very, very briefly about buying another gem pack for 270 gems here. Because as you can see, I am back up over. That's just still too expensive. Almost 300 gems would drop me down quite a ways. And I kind of want to stick around that 800 mark because whoever I'm going to level up next is going to be fully ascended, fully mastered by using my gems. And just for time's sake, it's faster than needing to go through Minotaur. So if it happens to be Petrifier, then that's what I'll do. If these next couple of ancient shards that I find manage to get me something good, then that would probably be what I go with. So just kind of a wait and see here. I know some content creators call it Wait Shadow Legends, and I like that one. So um, I'm thinking right now. I'm pausing because there's some. I don't know how I want to address this, or even if I want to say anything about it at all. But I had an interesting comment on one of my old like videos from like my fourth episode in the game. You guys are welcome to go look it up and see what they said. But um it bothered me a little bit. Um and because it was a little negative, and so far the community has been so great at keeping positivity in the comment section and on these videos, and kind of you know giving me constructive feedback, and I've been happy to receive that. I'm happy to see people that are like, well, hey, this champion's pretty good, but I see your point, why you chose not to go with them. And there's gonna be a lot of that, but I am of the mindset and how I approach my free to play account that I don't necessarily have the luxury of fooling around with weak champions. I think one of the big ones that people will look at on the account, and by the way, what they commented on wasn't even the big one. Um, you know, I think, a leak is a great champion, but a little one dimensional in where the use case for Alika is. And that's part of the reason why, I chose not to go that route. Being able to decrease cooldowns of enemy skills is extremely powerful and very good for PvP. Um, and it may be something I regret for like Doom Tower waves in the future, but it's not something that I'm going to regret as far as bosses go. And I have other ways that I'm going to try to beat the Doom Tower waves. So an Alika isn't part of that plan. Um, and so I kind of want to just talk about I'm going to make decisions that are not for everybody. And I'm not speaking gospel here. I'm just relaying to you guys my personal experiences from being a person that's played the game for probably like a year and a half at this point. Um, and and has a mindset that I want to go with for the free to play account. So, this isn't going to be for everybody. It's just my mentality and how I'm approaching it in order to find what I hope to be a great amount of success. And I think I've done that. Being a month in, I'm very, very satisfied with where the account is. A little disappointed in my shard pull that I had. Um, but overall, very satisfied. And I do expect to see some events coming up here soon that I should be able to capitalize. I know a lot of people don't like the crystals events, um, but I think those are very valuable for new players to be able to pull a guaranteed epic and to focus those epics. That's how I got Alika in the first place, right? She's a good champion. She was pulled during that the crystal event. So I think we might have one of those coming up soon. Don't quote me on that. I don't have any insider information. No content creators are talking about it. In fact, most content creators don't like that event, but it was very beneficial to me when I needed it in the game. So, um, if there is another event like that, it might be the next chance I have to get champions. Um, for probably what 2 weeks before we would be able to pull sacreds, and sacreds, when I get to pull sacreds on a 2x, we're gonna be looking really good there because as you can see, I've got 3 of them ready to go. Um, I don't think I'm close on any other sacreds anytime soon. Um, I just hit my monthly, right? And then as far as missions go, that's where I got my second one. Um, so I'm pretty far from being able to get another sacred, I think. I don't think anything in here is going to be a sacred. It would be a void at best. Yep, there's a void there, another void there. And then we go into part 4. And that's going to be part 4 is going to be kind of the biggest gap towards um arbiter, um, because I know I'm gonna have to do gold. I know I'm gonna have to ascend Great Hall very high, which I've got a lot of stuff saved up, ready to do that for the next Clan v Clan. So, really happy with where my account is. And so, while this negative comment, it mostly what bothered me about it wasn't the opinion that they had, it was the negative portrayal of that opinion. And so I just wanted to reiterate that I'm open to criticism. I've had conversations, I've answered comments directly on stream, and I will continue to do so. In fact, oh shoot, I don't know if I'm going to be able to remember. I did have a comment that um oh, I remember what it is now. Somebody asked me if 2 Kales was worth it on Clan Boss. I have thoughts that some people may not agree with. My initial answer is actually going to be no. Um, and the reason so if you want like extra clan boss damage right this second, 2 Kales is the way to go. If you have them, is what I mean to say. You've got 2 Kales, you can level them both up to 60 and do it. But the drawback there is, are you going to need 2 Kales in the mid game? Are you going to need 2 Kales in the end game? And I don't think that you are. Um, so for me, that's where the value of like Petrifia. Now you could say, well, a Kale would be just as good as Petrifia or Frozen Banshee, which is why I'm going Petrifia, because I feel like she's either the same or slightly worse than Frozen Banshee as far as poison damage per clan boss goes. Um, and I can get her guaranteed right now. We don't know if I'll ever get a Frozen Banshee. I'm sure at some point I will, right? But there's no promises when I'm pulling from shards versus being able to just get Petrifia in a tournament guaranteed. So that's why I'm going for Petrifia. Um, She brings poisons just like Kale, but she also increases Kale's value with poison sensitivity. And then you could consider, like, let's say you upgraded two Kales and had them running in Clan Boss, but then let's say that you got like a Venomage. Well, now one of those Kales gets pulled out and Venomage goes in, as an example. Or any big poison damage dealer would go in for that Kale. So now where's that Kale get used? So then the question becomes, well, were those resources on that second Kale wasted? Or were, was it good because it helped me get to a point where I could get Venomage? There's a debate there. So for me, I wouldn't do it because I feel like it's a lot of resources, that's a lot of food, that's a lot of energy and a lot of time that go into a champion that once they're replaced, are they still useful in the game? Now, would two Kales be great for faction wars? Absolutely. You're gonna, especially because you could put them in a stun set later on. There's a lot of value there. There are a lot of ways that you can still use those two Kales, so it's not a complete loss. But for me, I like to have a bit of balance and a bit of reach across the game as a whole. That's why I was really excited about Selenia originally, because I was like, well, I don't necessarily want another poisoner, but I would love a burner. Um, and I do still think Selenia will get use on my account. In part of me was hoping like I might get like a Geomancer, but that's dreaming big. Or another HP burner. So I do think Selenia will be my default HP burner as I move forward on the account, and I will eventually need the uses of an HP burner on the account for sure. So, um, double Kale is definitely like a good option for Clan Boss. You're gonna get value out of it, um, but I also want to bring stuff that's gonna bring up the power level of the team as a whole. So Petrifia, for example, brings poison sensitivity. So now my Kale is poisons hit harder. Petrifia brings poisons that also hit harder. So, and then brings decreased attack. It's the weak version, but it's a decreased attack nonetheless, so that the clan boss will do less damage to my team. So, these are all things to keep in mind, things to consider when, deciding what champions that you want to go with. So, for me personally, double Kale would seem a little bit too um, one dimensional and give me less value potentially over the long term of the game. I was really, really hoping that my next 6-star could be like a powerful epic. That's what I was really hoping for. And I was disappointed in the epics that I got. Obviously, if I would have got a legendary, that would have been probably the next push. So I'm not pulling the trigger on anything until the event is over. So after tomorrow, is probably when I'll make my decision. So on Monday's video, I'll have made my decision and said, okay, 100%, this is the next champion I'm gonna 6-star, and I have it ready to go. I have the food ready to go. So like if we did Sun Wukong, food is ready to go. He's ready to get upgraded. If it's a rare, then I would just have to go through the process of leveling them up. But I have 4-star food ready to go as well, as you can see here. So, and then I have a brew right here, a keg, to upgrade them to 60 instantly and see what kind of value I can get out of them. So, and I've got still some more work to do to get Petrifia here. So I'm going to keep grinding away at that over the next, over tonight and then tomorrow and Monday. And just keep on pushing. So also would be really cool to win this tournament. I'm really happy with kind of the head start that I'm having on it. A little surprised to see less people competing in it, but to get some Relentless gear as well as another Ancient Shard. Unfortunately, I think this tournament will end after the event, so I don't think this Ancient Shard is going to be able to be used. I haven't looked at exactly the math. Well, I guess I can. 2 days, 13 hours. we have 2 times chances for 1 day, 9 hours. Yeah, so that extra ancient shard won't benefit me, but that'll be used probably a month from now when we're at another 2x, right? All right, I'm going to wrap up this video here. But as always, thank you guys for watching. Thank you all for your comments. Really happy. I've got some really exciting stuff that you guys are going to see here. This green screen is only the beginning. We've got much more stuff coming around the corner. So I'm looking forward to you guys seeing that here in the next couple days. So have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video.